I love food. I really, really love food. Food brings me great joy, texture, flavors, aroma, anticipation. And I'd like to learn a little bit about the vibration of food and whether or not certain foods have an inherent vibration and therefore people are drawn to certain foods because it's a match. Or is
These are
food...
really good questions, and we want to just get something out before you go too far into your questions about it, that yes, food does have vibration. The preparation of the food does affect the vibration. The vibration of the preparer of the food does affect the vibration. And so food, yes, does have a vibration. The most important factor in all of this is the way you are translating the vibration. The way you are translating the vibration. Because most people who are involved in the eating of food are not deliberately tending to the vibration of themselves as they are participating in either the selecting of the food or the preparing of the food or then the partaking of the food.
So when the food comes to us, there's already a vibration in it, and then the way I perceive it or experience it, or...
We were enjoying your description of the way you feel about the food, the aroma of the food, the flavor of the food, the texture of the food. And then you said something really important. You said the anticipation of the food. And that's really where we want to start. Because in the anticipation, that's like the earlier subtle stages of it, isn't it? And so it's like preparing your vibration for the choosing of it, for the co-creating with it, for the cooperative components of it, for the law of attraction bringing the cooperative components of it and you together. Keep talking, because we're going to get here because of the intensity of your vibration about it. We will get to something that's meaningful to all of you.
My core question is about why people can have such very different responses physically in their body to the same food.
Because different people have different vibrations. Let's say there's a vibration in a food, which there is, and a vibration in a body that's incompatible. Well, then there's an incompatibility, even though there is a pushing forward with it. It's not so different from what we were talking about just now, about the strong wanting to receive while there was resistance, which caused almost a collapse of her physical body as she was feeling the discord. So let's let this conversation from this point forward, no matter what subject that we are specifically talking about, let's let it be the conversation of compatibility. Let's talk about compatibility. Let's talk about vibrational compatibility. And let's start with you being vibrationally compatible with who you are before you even begin your moving down the road toward anything that is physical or action or edible.
Ooh, something really cool just came to me.
Yes?
So if
That's why we liked your word anticipation so much.
If I connect with my...
If you take your inner being to dinner, everything's going to be better.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So...
But how often is your inner being not with you? Your inner being is always there, but you are often not translating the vibration of the food into something that's meaningful to your cells. You see, so when you take the time to come into alignment with your inner being, now you're in alignment with your inner being, which means all of your cells are in alignment too. And now that's the beginning place. Now you're there. Now the inspiration of what food to participate with is going to be inspired, you see.
So does it matter less whether what I'm...
Yes, much less.
Really, but if I'm really excited about what me and my inner being are going to have a date to enjoy, it doesn't really matter so much whether it's Twinkie or a broccoli. If we're excited about it and we're not in resistance to it.
You will receive more benefit from whatever it is that you're eating when you're in alignment. And you can eat the most specialized food that people have divinely inspired and created, and it can do you no value at all if you are out of alignment as you are eating it. Your alignment trumps everything. So let's say that you have these beliefs about food, and you believe that these foods are good for you and these foods are bad for you. That belief will keep the food that you believe is bad for you from being good for you. your beliefs are the basic factor in all of this. So the easy way to go about this is to line up with whatever it is you're doing. If you've decided that you're going to eat that, line up with it. Esther had some friends at one of her houses a few months ago, and she had gathered everything under the sun because she wasn't sure what anybody wanted to eat. And so the cupboards were full of so much variety that they could have stayed for 5 months. And one of the people began talking about the things that she does not want to eat. And everything she mentioned that she did not want to eat, Esther went and got one of them out of the cupboard and put it on the table. She was wanting to demonstrate that you get what you talk about here. You get what you think about. That was part of what she was wanting to say. But then she said in a rather bold way to everyone who was gathered around, as she had all of this food that was considered to be not healthy by this person, well, don't eat it if you don't want to, but don't talk about how bad it is while I'm eating it. Because if you want to spoil your own fun, that's fine with me. But don't spoil everybody else's fun. And we really want to say this in a powerful way. Instead of trying to decide what everybody should be eating, or what everybody should be thinking, or what everybody should be doing, which is sort of hard on you as physical beings, because you're doing quite a bit of that, thinking that you should get it all figured out and then everybody should do it, and it's not ever going to work out for you, so you might as well just give in to the variety that you were all born to be. But rather than trying to come to the same conclusions about what's right or wrong, or what's healthy food or what's not healthy food, instead make the decision to come into alignment where you'll be inspired from where you are. Because as you are moving along your path, you see, your inner being always knows where you are in relationship to everything you want. Now what that means is, we don't just mean where you are time-wise. We don't just mean where you are proximity-wise. We mean where you are vibrational-wise, where you are in the probability of being able to decipher it wise, where you are in the ability to be able to perceive it wise. And let's just say it, and we mean it lovingly and with no judgment about it. You are where you are. You stand where you stand with the beliefs that you hold, and that's all right. And your inner being knows where you stand, where you stand, where you stand with the beliefs that you hold. And your inner being knows where you stand in the beliefs that you hold in relationship to what you want. And your inner being will inspire you to the path of least resistance. And so what you may eat today on your path to where you want to be may not be the thing that you will always eat, but it's the path of least resistance today, you see. But most of you don't allow yourself the benefit of that kind of divine and precise guidance. Instead, you're looking around about what everybody else is doing. You're comparing what everybody else is doing to what you're doing. You're worrying about the results of it instead of just following the inspiration. If we could convince you that by following the impulse. Now, it's important we preface this statement with this. Since alignment trumps everything, this is the way we want to put it to you. Get happy and then follow your inspiration. Get happy and then follow your inspiration. Get happy and follow your inspiration. If you're depressed, if you're in agony, if you feel defeated, if you're mad at yourself, if you're enraged and you follow your inspiration, do you really think that you're following the inspiration from the source within you? Or are you following the inspiration of the momentum of things not going the way you want them to? You see what we're getting at? So let's not make it be about the perfect food. Let's make it about the perfect timing. Let's make it about where you stand in relationship to what you want. Let's not make it about comparing what you're eating to what everybody else is eating. Let's make it about your unique individual path. Let's acknowledge that the source within you knows what you want, knows how you want to feel, and is including everything. Eat for vitality for a while rather than from weight. Eat for the feeling of vitality. Eat for fuel. Eat for the benefit of it. Eat for the pleasure of it rather than for the result of it for just a little while. And then it will begin to make sense to you why there are people who look exactly the way you think you would like to look, who eat entirely different than you think they have any business eating and looking like that. Because it was never about that. It's about compatibility, you see. So if we convinced you at least a little bit that your inner being knows you well and knows where you stand and what you want, have we convinced you at all that your inner being has your back, that your inner being cares about you, that your inner being knows who you are in relationship to what you want? And are you a little bit inclined to want to get to that happy place so that you can start translating some of that, so that you can translate that knowledge? Do you know that your inner being knows everything about everything you want and where everything is, and is telling you and telling you and telling you, offering a steady transmission to you at all times? And don't you just want to get happy enough that you can catch a glimpse of it? And don't you want to stop second guessing yourself and no longer using all of that flawed premise, bogus patterning that you've developed along your way? Don't you want to start listening to the guidance that is truly inspired rather than the peanut gallery that doesn't really know what they're doing, that is trying to get you to go some direction that they think might be meaningful? Don't you sort of want to stop talking about all of it, at least until tomorrow, and allow yourself to come into alignment with who you really are? You are in an environment where there is a lot of food that is being prepared for you. And the intentionality of this vessel and the people who are upon it is to help you to find pleasure. Their intentions are really in the right place. They're all working harder than we wish for anyone to work. But their intention is for your pleasure. And if you really want to do what you are divinely inspired to do, let your appreciation of everything that is coming together here just soar. In other words, this is the opportunity for you to realize that you are at this juncture, you are at this point where everything that has come before is all lined up for your benefit here and now. And if you will let this week be your opportunity to look for every reason to receive the pleasure that you deserve, that is all queued up for you, it could go like this for you for the rest of your life experience. In other words, everything is pointed toward you breaking through this one important point. It is possible for you to leave behind the beliefs that have been hindering you in this short few days. It is possible for you, like peeling the layers of an onion, to leave behind one by one those preconceived notions, those practiced thoughts that are keeping you from being in vibrational alignment with who you are. This is an opportunity for you to awaken to the fullness of who you are. And there is nothing that we wish more for you, that you begin now and get really good at it this week, of allowing yourself to be the receiver of the inspiration that's coming forth from within you. Because there's no one who wants more fun for you than we do. There's no one who wants more vitality for you than we do. Source within you. There's no one who understands more your deservability. There's no one who understands more the value that you are offering to yourselves and to all that is. This is the time, if there ever were a time, for you to get this straight in your vibrational frequency. Look for the pleasure in all things and watch what it yields to you. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. There is great love here for you. And for now, we are complete. What a nice day. You guys are wonderful. Woo!
So cute, isn't she?